Hey everybody, welcome back to West Corners Custom Cycles in the Underground Garage. I'm Pat. It's 2 days after I put up the last video, April 13th. I just wanted to show you the one bike we didn't get going that day was 75 Sportster. I just wanted to show you she's all up and good to go. Okay, so that's up and ready to go. Now today, I'm going to tackle some stuff I've been wanting to do on my personal ride, my Skull bike. I'm going to change out the front and rear rim on that. I decided to go with a solid mag on the rear and a 21-inch spoke on the front. I'm also going to change the chain on it. And I had an extension. I have a side mount license plate and tail light and brake light on there. It was extended out because I used to have big bags on it. Now I've got the swing arm saddle bags on it. So I'm going to get rid of the extension that's on that and mount it back down onto the axle so it's not sticking out so far. So those are the four things I want to get done on the rear of that, and then change the front tire. Let me take the camera and I'll show you on the back, and I'll show you what we're in for and what I'm going to do. Okay, be back in a sec. Okay, here we are back at the rear tire. I'm going to get rid of this 13 spoke mag. This sprocket, which is looking very horrible, is actually going to go on the new rim. If you look right here, you can see the master link. I got to pull this clip. It's a U-shaped clip on the outside of it. You got to pop that off, and be careful if you do, because that likes to go flying and get lost. So keep a finger on it while you're popping it loose so you don't lose it. I'm probably going to have to reuse the master clip on this. I don't know if one came with the new chain. That's the new chain. I haven't opened it yet. The other thing, like I said, I'm going to do is on the other side. Like I said, this extension that I got going out here to the rear tail light comes all the way back in here, hooks to the axle, and then it's got a stabilizer bar that goes up farther. That's all coming off. I'm going to cut it off back here, drill a hole through this inner plate, put it back on the end of the axle back here. So I'm going to have to pull the shock nut. I'll get rid of this part here. We'll keep the inside bar, cut it off about here where my finger is, and drill a 3/4 inch hole in it so it fits over the axle. Put it back on there. And it's a good thing I looked at this too, I noticed, because if you look right here, this is the plug and the wiring going to the tail light. It's actually unplugged, so that tail light wasn't working, neither was the brake light. And I don't know why these are like this. They're crimped. I put this on, I don't know, 100 years ago, but that's going to get corroded. I'm going to eliminate this plug and that's all going. I'm going to solder and shrink wrap this so there's not an issue again. It was okay because I had another brake and tail light right up here on the back of the sissy bar, so it wasn't without a brake light. All right, that's what we're looking at. And right over there is the new rims that are going on this. That's the rear one. That's the front one. Okay, I'm going to start pulling that chain off on the rear, and I'll come back in a minute and show you how to get that on without pulling a chain cover or anything else. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, this is that master clip. Get your pair of pliers up on that top nub like that. Get the bottom of it right under the clip. Trying to do this one-handed for you, and it's not working very well. Okay, You get the idea. I need both my hands. I'll come back, show you when it's off. All right, there it is. You can see. Pops up like that. And you take it off like that. Set it down, don't lose it. Now this part, I usually take and roll down underneath. And out here where I got some slack. Because this way you can take the two halves of the chain, kind of pinch them together, and it allows for this outer unit to come off easier. Plus I got a flat screwdriver, I'll dig it off of there. But you get that off, and like I said, I'll need two hands for that, but I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. There it is. Got the outside part of the link off. Now you slide this out the back side that way and it goes in half. This is the new chain. And it actually did come with a new master link right there. So I'll take the old one off this and I will put it in my tool bag just in case. You can see right here it is a 530 series chain. And I will show you again, like I said, how to get this on here. You take this and you slide it out the back, disconnect it. There it goes. You take this half and you hook it to the new chain. And then you got your tire in neutral. So you just take, here, let me get them hooked up and I'll be back. Okay, as you can see now, I got them hooked together right here. You don't need to put the outside of the clip on. But all you do is just spin your tire. And it will, make sure it doesn't come off the sprocket, but it will take this new chain and it will bring it all the way up around, down through the inside of your other sprocket and out the bottom here, and then you just hook them together. But all right, I'm going to feed that through and hook it back up. Didn't need two hands or it's not going to stay on the sprocket. Okay, of course, as luck would have it, the chain is 5 lengths too long, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This nub right here that my fingernail is on, I'm going to grind off with my grinding wheel. And I'm going to separate the chain, take that off from there down, then take this half, hook it to that half, and the chain will be all done. I didn't think it was going to be that much of an issue, but oh well, it is what it is. Part of customizing. Okay, I'm going to get that cut off for there and get them hooked back together, and I'll be right back. Okay, after a little bit of wrestling, we got her apart, got her hooked back together. I actually had to take a little tension off the chain. I had to loosen up the chain tensioners back here. Well, that's all right. There's just a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch. But now, and there's the piece we cut off. So now I'm going to take this and roll it up along the back here. You can see right here. You roll it up on the back here, the sprocket will hold it in place while you get the clip on. And this one here, we'll get in a little closer. That's the clip. See how that's all lined up now? Okay. I'll take this. Okay, need two hands again, guys. and gals. Okay, there she is, snapped in. And when you put this clip on, you want this curved part up going the direction the chain's going. You want the open end going to the back. Why, I don't know, but that's the way they say to do it, so that's the way I've always done it. But there you go, boys and girls. Get back here so you can see the finished product. Pretty nice, I like it. All right, now I'm going to get this tire off of here. Be back in a second. Okay, for those of you who don't know, taking the rear tire off is pretty straightforward. This is your axle right here, goes all the way through to the other side. There is a spacer down in here on this tire. Whether I'm going to need it on the new one or not, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out, but we'll find out in a minute. But just to get this off, you take a nut off on the other side, has a cotter pin through it. Take the cotter pin out, take the nut off. It's 15/16, so is this end. And you can grab it through. You're gonna have to wiggle the tire around, turn the axle as it's coming out. You'll get it all the way out, and then you can drop the tire down and out. If your fender doesn't come up on the back like this, you may have to get the bike up in the air higher to get the tire out past the fender. But all right, I'm gonna wiggle this out, get it off, and switch these tires around and see if I need that spacer or not. Be right back. And that only took a second. Wiggled right out of there. Set it right there on the cardboard. Wiggled the rear tire off. It's sitting right over here. Now this rear tire, besides the spacer that fell on the ground when I took the axle out, both sides of the rim have a spacer like this. And there's another spacer that goes on the outside of this between the swing arm and this spacer here. But I don't know if I'm going to need it yet on the new rim or not. We'll have to figure it out. I got to do something about it. I can't put this sprocket back on there. Once I'm noticing the teeth, they're a little worn. And it just looks like absolute horrible. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go look on eBay, see if I can find one chrome that's cheap. And we'll see if we can't put it on that rim over there and get it right back on here as quick as we can. And in the meantime, I'll start working on that taillight assembly. Okay. See what I mean, the way that sticks out. I'm going to put it right back where the axle is, right under the shock. All right, you see where we're at. See you in a minute. Okay, everybody. Huge snag on trying to get these tires from the Softail onto the XL. The center hub right here that the sprocket goes on these rims from the Softail, the rear and the front rim over there are both 2 1/4 inches in diameter. The ones that are on the XL are 2 inch in diameter. Other problem is the mounting bolts here on this rim are 5/16. The ones on the XL are 7/16. So big size difference. So what I'm going to do is take a trip down to the local machine shop about a half mile down the road here, see if I can make some spacers and see if they can turn the center of that rotor out to fit this rim. If they can help me with all that, we'll get that tire on this rim and we'll be good to go. Then I got to attempt the same thing on that tire over there when I put it on the front of this. But the problem with this is going to be is right here, I don't know how well you can see it, there's a tab right here that's for the speedo. And you can see there's a notch in this rotor and a notch in the rim. Well, the Softail rim doesn't have that notch. So I may have to modify and do that myself. And if they take the center of this rim out to 2 1/4 to fit the other rim, then it's going to eliminate that notch right here on this rotor. So I'm going to have to re-notch it. And I'm also probably gonna have to modify this tab that comes up to come out to 2 1/4 and go in if I want to make that speedometer work. So that's what I'm looking at. Way more of a headache than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a simple swap, but I guess not. So I'll keep you posted. I'm headed to the machine shop. Hey everybody, I'm back. Okay, you just saw what was going on with the rims and everything I was going to have to do to make them work. So I just decided to axe that. I'm not going to change out the rims right now. I figured I'll just wind up getting the right rotors and sprocket for those rims, and when I get them, then I can do the swap later. So for right now, I wound up pulling the rear tire off, as you saw. While I had it off, I took the sprocket off the rim, got out the scrub brush and cleaned these rims up, the rear rim up real good. You guys saw how that sprocket looked. I actually, while I had it off, turned it over, and the other side looks like brand new. How that is, I don't know. So that's how I put it back on the bike. I flipped it over, put it back on. It looks 100% better. I'm going to grab the camera here and show you what's going on with that, how everything looks on the back. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to get the bike in the garage. We're supposed to get some rain, even though it looks pretty nice. I looked at the radar. It's supposed to be here in about an hour and a half. I'm going to get on that tail light, shorten that up, get that back onto the bike, and she'll be good to go for now. I have an issue where I haven't been through this carburetor in 10 years or more, and this year the float must be sticking because it's puking gas out of it. I just ordered a new one offline, so when that comes in, I'm just going to swap them out. That way I got an extra one, and I'm going to go through that one too and keep it on the shelf. So we'll take you through that when I get to it. That'll be another carburetor video, but for right now, let's look at this back end of this bike. All right, be right back. All right, like I told you, this is that sprocket. I can't believe that it looks this good on one side and the other side looks so horrible. You can really see that this side of that sprocket's actually in really nice shape. I'm just shocked. But with the new chain, the rim all cleaned up, the sprocket, it looks a lot better back here. Those shocks look like hell, but I'll either pull them off and paint them or get another pair. So that's what it's looking like for right now. Now I'm going to go over and get on this tail light, get it cut and re-welded, and I'll show you what's going on with that while we're doing it. All right, here's that tail light. You can see the line here. That's where I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to re-weld it back onto here. I'll keep this part so I don't have to re-drill the hole. That part will go back on over the axle, and this other part over here, this, and even the bracket that it's holding on to right here, I'm going to eliminate all that. We don't need that. That's just overkill. So right now I'm going to get the license plate off it. I'm going to get the tail light off it, these zip ties, cut all that stuff off, and then I'll take you in the garage and we'll get her welded up. Be right back. All right, just wanted to get the camera on the tripod, show you what's going on here. If any of you are wondering why this video, a lot of it's been taking place outside, it's because the last couple of days been the first few days here in New York that we've even gotten into the 70s, and I'm just trying to take advantage of some of the nice weather. It's supposed to go back down into the 50s next week, so these are 7/16 nuts, and these are ratchet wrenches I got. Take everything right off. Like I said, we're going to eliminate that. It's either 3/8 or 10 mil. I'll be right back. I got to go get another wrench. Yep. Also, I'm going to wind up, once I get this all welded up, I'm going to paint it up too. I'm going to paint it black so it doesn't look so horrible. Okay, there's the license plate. And the tail light. Alright. Now, okay, as you can see, I got everything cut off. Cleaned up the bracket a little bit. Got this one. Gonna weld it right back on there again like that. And call it a day. We'll bolt it back on the bike. Alright, I'm gonna take a minute here and get some stuff in the garage because it's starting to darken up and I think the rain's coming. And when I come back, we'll be in the garage. We'll weld this up. Okay, as you can see, I got it clamped to the side of the ladder here. I got my ground here. I'm going to weld it right across here. This is the hole where it's going to go back onto the axle. Alright, let's fire this welder up. Okay, we'll let that cool down, and that should be good enough to hold that. And once it's cool, I'll take it out, hit it with a coat of paint. We'll give it a nice shiny black coat, and get the light back on it and the license plate, and get it back on the bike. All right, see you in a bit. All right, gonna get this thing in a coat of primer and then a coat of paint. And like I said, then we'll get the light and everything back on it and get it back on the bike. All right, I'm gonna put the camera down. Okay, there it is. Shot coat of primer. I'm gonna let that dry real good. Probably tomorrow morning we'll get it in a coat of black, let that dry all day, and then get her back on the bike the following day. I hate waiting for paint to dry. All right, see you in a bit, probably tomorrow. All right, as you can see, everybody, I got her in a nice coat of, I actually went flat black with it. And now I'm going to get the tail light back on it. I'm going to back the bike out and pull that axle nut off and get this back on there. And then I'll worry about getting the wiring soldered up. And then that'll be done. And then I'm still going to have to pull the carb and go through that. Oh, that's right, I already ordered a new one, but we're going to have to swap those out. Okay, see you in a minute. All right. I took the time to get the bike jacked up, pull the nut off the axle, as you can see right here. Now, this is the setup we have. This is going to go over the axle. This tab that sticks out is going to catch up underneath the edge of the swing arm, and it'll keep the tail light from moving anywhere. And I'll show you how it goes right on. Let's see. Pops on just like that. And, oh, got a wire in the way here. Okay. Now it'll go on. Just like that. See how it catches up under the swing arm? All right, I'm going to get that nut on there. And then I'm going to snip these wires and solder them and shrink wrap them. And this will be all ready to go back here. All right. See you in a minute. All right. There it is. All the wiring shrink wrapped. Comes around the back of the shock. Got it tied down right down around the swing arm. Everything's nice and clean. Everything's black. Doesn't look as horrible as it did before. I'm going to get the license plate back on here. And that's going to be it for this video. Okay, I'll come back in a few days when that carburetor comes in. We'll swap the carbs out and we'll make a video doing that. All right, as always, be safe, be kind, be good to each other, and live life behind bars. Peace out.